Okay, so let's continue from where we left off. So we are converting this table into APA. So the first thing you do is you take off all the horizontal and then vertical lines. Then you click the bottom borders for the bottom border to appear. So bottom border, and you click for the up border to also appear. Then you click here, then we move to click on bottom border. So this is how an APA table looks like. This is how an APA table looks like. So let me, to make the table look nicer, I'm going to center the figures. I'm going to center the figures. And I'm going to also bolden the topic. Okay, so as I said previously, you have to give the table a title. You have to give the table a title. You can do it manually, but when you do it manually, when you are writing your list of figures or list of tables, it's going to be very hectic. So this is what this is one way we can go about it. So let's go to references. We go to references, and then we go to insert caption. References, then we go to insert caption. So we are labeling we are giving a name to the table. We are giving a name to the table. To make your work easier for you, you click on references, then you click on insert caption. So let's click on insert caption. So you find this thing here, table 1. So we have to give our tables numbers, and we have to give
Put it on the task. Put it on the task.
And we also have to give a name to our table. So this table is the demographic. So we are going to name this table demographic characteristics of participants. So characteristics of participants. Okay, so we'll just click on OK, and the title of our table appears here. Okay, so this is the title of our table. So with this one, you can either decide to leave it this way. You can decide to leave it this way, or you can decide to bring the percentages. So let me bring the percentages. And one thing is that when you want to bring percentages, make sure you do for all. Don't do for one and then leave the other. Do it for all. If you decide to bring the percentages, do it for all. So I'm doing the percentages for all the figures that I have here. So this is how your demographic characteristics should look like. And this is how the table should also look like. Now, how are we going to interpret this? So now let's go to the interpretation. Let's go to the interpretation. So if you want to interpret this, what you have to do is you have to look through the table and then see the see how like what word should I use? Okay, so you have to speak through the table, and then see how it is going. So let's look at sex. Let's look at sex. Sex, we realize that the females are 50.68%, and then the males are 49.4%. But we don't want to be stating the same things. So this is how you are going to go about it. So you are going to say that more than half of the participants were female, and you quote the percentage. So mm, okay, so this is how you are going to go about it. So from the table, you can realize that more than half of the participants were females. So you write that and then you quote the percentage. So I'm quoting the percentage. With majority. So let's look at the age. Let's look at the age. The age says that majority were between the ages of 18 to 39. So pardon me, it seems the age here, the fig is so let me run for age again and then get the right figures for each, because this is not supposed to be male and female. We're supposed to have the age range for them. So let me go back to my output table and then copy the ages again. And then so age. So I'm going to paste the age table again. So the age here is supposed to be this. I don't know why. I'm going to take off this. Okay, so let's take away this table. Okay, so we can realize, or we can see from the table that most of the people were between the ages of 18 to 38 years, because their frequency was what? 93.3%. So this is how you are going to write it. More than half of the participants were females. We quote the percentage. Then we say that with majority of them, being between the ages of 18 to 38. Then you quote the percentage. So their percentage was 93.3. So 93.3%. 93.3%. Then we move to the next one. So the next one is that the participants are largely either single, then you quote the figure for the percentage for the single. So the single is 46.6%. So 46.6%. Or married. Then you quote the figure. So that one is 48.9%. 48.9%. So you move on to the next one. So the next one is that most of the participants have lived in Accra. I'm saying this because when you look at the years in Accra, the below 5 years, this is the percentage. And then 5 years and above, this is the percentage. So it means that most of them have lived in Accra more than 5 years. So that is what you are going to state. So most of them have lived in Accra. Then we state the percentage. The percentage is 87 point 87.4%. 87.4%. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one is education. Education, we have no formal education, basic secondary school, diploma degree, and then master's degree. So with this one, we can see that more than half of the participants have a diploma or a degree. So let's put it down that more than half of the participants have a diploma, stroke, a degree. Then you quote the percentage. So the percentage is 55.9%. 55.9%. So we move on to the next one. That is number of years as a member. Number of years as a member. So this one too, we can see that most of them have been members of the church more than 5 years. So we can say that that the majority of the people, or majority of the participants have been in the church for more than 5 years. And you quote the percentage. So the percentage is 94.4%. So 94.4%. Then you move on to the last one, which is their current participation. So that one too, most of the participants were members of the church. So when you gathered the data, we collected most of the data from the church members. So most of the participants were church members. And you quote your percentage, which is 61.2%. So we are done with the demographic information of the participants. So this is how you write it in your research paper. You can change it a little. This is how I'll write mine. So you can use this as a sample to write yours. Okay. So we are done with the demographic information of our participants. Any question? Any question? Okay, if there are no questions, then I'll move on. I'll move on to the next thing for today. So we are done with the demographic characteristics of the participants. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to look at is the descriptive statistics. We are going to look at how we are going to present our descriptive statistics in our results session. We are going to see how you are going to, so I'm going to run the analysis and then teach you how you are going to convert it to APA, and then also teach you how you are going to interpret it. Okay, so I'm going to run the SPSS. So SPSS. For descriptives, we run descriptives on continuous variables. We run descriptives on continuous variables, and we run frequencies on categorical variables. So let's get the difference. For frequencies, we run it on categorical variables. Those are the variables that we have options to choose. So male, female, 18 and above, etc., etc. For categorical, it is on the questions that are measured on skills. So the ones that have strongly agree, strongly disagree, etc., etc. So I'm going to run my descriptive. So we go to analyze, descriptive analyze and statistics. Then we click on descriptives. So we are going to move all the descriptives that we have in our question. And before you can do that, you have to make sure that you have totaled your continuous variables. So we run descriptives on the totals of the continuous variables. The last time I taught you how we do the addition. So these are the descriptives that we are going to use. So let's click on OK. So let's see. For descriptives, you have to make sure that we take the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, maximum, and then the kurtosis, and then the skewness. So you click on OK. Then the output table will show. So I'm going to copy the things on the output table and then teach you how you are going to convert it to APA and how you are going to interpret it. So even before we get here, let me show you some of the things that are needed on the descriptive table. So in your descriptive table, these are some of the things that must appear on the table, on the APA table. So you need your variables, you need the minimum, you need the maximum, you need the mean, the standard deviation, your skewness, and then your kurtosis. So these are the things that are needed on the table. So let's see how we are going to do that in Word. So with the descriptives, you get just one table. With the descriptive, you just get one table. So let's copy this table. Let's copy this table and then move it to Word. Move it to Word down here, and then paste the descriptive table. This table is very long, so you see something here, just click on this one, and then you shift it here. So now you're going to convert this table to APA. So let's convert this table into APA. So let's take the things that are needed. So I'll go to insect. Then we need the variables. We need the minimum, the maximum. We need the mean, the standard deviation, the skewness, and then the kurtosis. So let's put the things we need here. So variable, we need the variables. We need the minimum. We need the maximum. We need the mean. We need the standard deviation. We need the skewness. Then we need the kurtosis. Now let's put the things that are important into our table. So with this ones, you need, so these are the variables. The variables are church rule, knowledge, attitude, and practices. So let's copy this. Let's copy this into our variables. So the variables, these are the variables. Let's put them here. And then go and copy the rest of the things. So we don't need this any statistics here. What we need is the minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation. So let's first of all copy the minimum, maximum, and then standard deviation. So you copy that. On the variables, so you copy it, we paste it here. Control V. Then we move on to the skewness. So with the skewness, we choose the one at the statistics. We don't choose the standard error. So we choose the one at the statistics. So let's copy it here. Copy the one here. And paste it here. So we copy it and paste it here. Now let's go to the ketosis. So the ketosis, we choose the one at the statistics. Copy. And then we paste it here. Okay. So now we have our table. So we don't need this one again. So we highlight it and then we take it off. Now we are going to convert this table to APU. We are going to convert this table to APU. Can someone help me with the conversion? Can someone lead us to do the conversion? So tell me where I should click and what I should do. Can anyone help us? Can anyone? Okay, if there's no one, let me demonstrate. I think after this one, the next one. So please, let's take note. Let's take note. So the first thing you have to do is, let's highlight the whole table. So when you click on the table, this arrow will come. You just click on the arrow. This plus sign will come. You just click on this plus sign. Then you go to your home tab and look for this. Look for this. So the first thing you do is you take off all the borders. So when you click on no borders. After clicking on no borders, the next thing is you click on bottom border. So let's click on bottom border. Then you move on to click on top border. After clicking on top border, then we click here. Then we click on bottom border. So this is how the APA table for descriptive should look. This is how it should look. So now let's name our table. So to name our table, just as we did for the first one, we go to references. Let's go to references and then insert caption. So because we have already named the first one, so the first one was table 1. So when you move to insert caption, the next table is going to be table 2. So this is what you are going to do. So this table is supposed to be descriptive statistics. That is the name of the table. So descriptive statistics. Then we click on OK. So it brings the name of the table here. So this is the name of our table. This is the name of our table. Now, how do we interpret this? How do you interpret this? So this is how we are going to interpret this. So that the interpretation is going to be the descriptive statistics, or the descriptive shows the mean scores and distribution of the data. The mean score for church row. So now after we get this, now we are looking at the table to write our finding. So the mean score, so when you look at the mean, so now we are interpreting the table. So the mean score for church row is higher compared to the others. Let's look at the mean score for all of them. So church row is 56.69, knowledge is 52, attitude is 40, and then practices is 48. So we can conclude that the mean score for church is higher when you compare to the other descriptive statistics we have there. Then let's report on the skewness and then the ketosis. So the skewness values range. So with the skewness, we'll tell the range from, or ranges between, or range between 1.11 and so the highest is 2.84. So 2.8 so it's supposed to be, let's say 85. Let's make it so 2.85. So the next thing we have to report on is the ketosis. So the ketosis range between 0.98 and 2.09. For ketosis and then skewness. For your data to be normally distributed, you have to make sure that your skewness value ranges from -2 to -2 to +2 to -2. And then your skewness should be +3 to +3. We can see that for attitude, it is 7 here. So we can either decide to interpret the attitude or interpret for the one that has the normal range. So let's leave it like this. So if you remember, I said that when you are doing the table, make sure that you do the values. When you are putting the values must be at the same decimal point or the same decimal places. So now let's convert these figures to 2 decimal places. Let's convert it to 2 decimal places. So this one will be 56.70. This one is going to be 56.2. This one is going to be 14.16. And this one is going to be 48.56. This one is going to be 12.73. This one is going to be 16.13. This one is going to be 22.11. Then this one is going to be 19.34. So this one is going to be 1.11, 1.86. This one is going to remain like this, and this one should. So 1.5. So this one is going to be 9. Okay. So this is how you convert the descriptive table to APA, and then this is how you interpret it. Very soon it will go off. So when it goes off, then we use the link to log in again. So let's move on to our slides to see what we have next. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look at is independent t-test. Independent t-test. So I'm going to teach you how you generate it and convert the table to APA and how you are going to interpret it. So these are the things you need on your independent t-test. You need the groups, the mean, the standard deviation, the t, and then your p or your significance value. So these are the things you need on your independent t-test APA table.